My brief but spectacular take on translation. What attracted me to translation? I grew up bilingual in Haiti, and I loved that I was bilingual, and I loved that I was able to learn other languages, and I love to communicate with different cultures. I just find languages fascinating. So my beginning in translation is really with it starts with my love for languages, and I began to volunteer with mission groups who goes to Haiti generally after a disaster to provide help and support, especially medical help, which has always been very well needed in the area where I live. And in being there and learning English as an early teenager, I began to translate for them when they go. And even though I was not very good, I did not speak English very well, but I was able to facilitate the communication. And that I thought was very powerful. So for me, translation is very important. It has always been important in history. But right now, at this particular moment, with this huge globalization efforts that are going on throughout anywhere in the world, all companies want to go global. All companies or even schools now are doing recruitment at a global level. So the world needs ways to communicate with each other more than ever. Although, as I say, it has always been the case. So the importance of translation for me goes from a way of being able to share cultures through movies and music and having fun, but also a way of saving lives, like the mission groups would do when they come here, or even secular groups also when they go from the US to Haiti to help. But my ultimate translation career began when I volunteered for this organization called Equal Health. It's based in Boston, and I was living nearby. And I was contacted and asked if I would join them to volunteer because they just started the organization after the earthquake in Haiti in 2010. And I thought their motto and the vision that they have as an organization was very useful and sustainable because they hope to improve medical education and empower the medical people or professionals on the ground in Haiti to be able to continue forward. So the organization really is not there for, doesn't have a forever involvement vision. So that attracted me, and I began to volunteer in different parts of the organization until I was the only one available to translate some files for them. And I think that was back in 2010, and I've been involved with the organization since then, and took a bigger role as a translator as the years go by. And after I graduated college, I thought I was going to go to medical school, and I did not think of translation at all. But I always wanted to continue to use my languages like I have always wanted. So I became a certified medical interpreter, having the certification in both French and Spanish with English. And but I did not like it as much. But I find myself really liking the way translation goes. I really like reading the files and seeing how it impacts people's life, especially through the organization where I work with, and being able to see a doctor, even though already years in the profession, using the translation that I help provide, they can learn a new skill or learning to perfect what they already know. And that's a very powerful way to contribute to the world. So that's really what makes me want to be a full-on professional translator. And I decided to have the master's in translation because I really wanted to improve my ability as a translation and learn a more structured way and on how to translate not just the languages that I know, but also just translation as a field. I wanted to know more about it and know and perfect my skill. So for just a few years I've been translating, I notice how much have changed, how much I have improved. So I cannot wait to see how much more I improve over the years, because I believe translation is of you always learning every time you translate a work. And I believe if you translate this work again more than once or even reread it, you always want to improve it and make it better. So I think I will be a lifelong translator, but a lifelong learner of translation. So, and the importance of translation in the world as the world become really smaller through the use of the internet and globalization, and countries communicate more and more with each other. Like we read this week for the Chinese and Korean opening up their market and playing a bigger role in the movie industry, both by attracting foreign movies, though with censorship, but also by creating their own. So I think translation will play and will continue to play a big role in culture communication and making the world really a better place by facilitating that communication among ourselves on this planet. So this has been my brief but spectacular take on translation.